Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. 4 more like that. In through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Make it bigger, wider. Take in more air than the last time. Hold at the top. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another one in through the nose, bigger than the last one. Take that air in. Expand the capacity. Know that today's practice is going to challenge our capacity a little bit. Hold at the top. Exhale it all out. Last one here. Take a nice long deep inhale through the nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale it all out. Amazing job. Flutter the eyes open. Work your way onto your back. Tuck the knees into the chest. We're going to start with a little bit of core work here. Knees into the chest. Bring the hands behind the head. We're going to lift the shoulders off the ground. Find a little bit of comfort here. Find some comfort as well. So knees tucked into the chest, and then parallel the shins to the mat. Keep the knees at a nice 90 degree, then lift the shoulders up. And then slowly tap the right toe down to the mat. Keep that left leg hovering. Bring the right leg back. Tap the left toe. Keep the right leg hovering, and then bring it back. Do 5 each side. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Try to ground down through the lower back. Down, up. Squeeze the core. Down, up, down, up. 2 more each side. Down and up, down and up. Last one here. Down, up. Touch it down. Bring it back up. We're going to extend the hands out in front of us. Keep them hovering. And then extend the legs out in front of us. Lift the shoulders up a little bit more. Find a nice hollow shape here. We're going to bend the knees and bring it into the chest. Lift the chest up. We're going to find our Navasana pose. Lower the legs. Lower the chest a little bit. Find your Ardha Navasana. Low boat. Lift back up. Lower. Lift for 8. Lower. Lift for 7. Shoot the chest forward when you come up. Lower, lift for 6, lower, keep the core tight, lift for 5, lower, lift for 4, lower, lift for 3, lower, lift for 2, keep going, lower, lift for 1. Last one here, lower down and hold this beautiful shape here, hollow out the body, ground the lower back, squeeze the core, extend the arms out in front of you, or if you want to take a nice challenge here, extend the arms out to the back of the mat. Lift, hold for just 10, 9, 8. Point the toes, squeeze the thighs together. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, just 3 more. 2, on 1, release, bring the knees into the chest, give them a nice squeeze. Just waking up the core a little bit. Cross the feet over each other. Take a couple rolls forward and back on the spine, and then meet in a tabletop position, stacking your shoulders over top of your wrists, stacking the hips over top of the knees, finding a nice neutral spine here. And then begin, as we usually do during our classes, we're gonna find a little bit of movement into the wrist, shifting forward and back, taking some circles, maybe some figure 8 motions. You might want to get creative today. This is Joe's Wednesday creative class, so maybe you want to be creative. Maybe you're living in the left side of your brain today. Shifting forward and back, just finding some space here. Shifting the weight from hand to hand, knee to knee. You can spin the fingers out to point towards either side of the mat. You can shift side to side here. You can also shift and look to either side of the body. Maybe find a stretch into the side body here. That's up to you. Again, find some freedom, whatever feels good. You can walk the fingertips to the top of the mat. Take a puppy pose by dropping the chest and shoulders down to the mat. You can also spin your fingertips so that they point towards your knees and towards the back of the mat. Then you can shift forward and back, opening up through the forearms, finding a little bit of space here. That might be a little bit intense. If it is, then, do your thing. Find the space that you can occupy here in your capacity now. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Amazing. Return the hands back to center, pointing forward. Maybe shake them out if you need to. Amazing. Find a nice neutral spine in your tabletop position. So press out through the hands. Get long through the spine. Maybe a slight tuck to the tailbone, just a slight one. We're gonna kick the right foot up and back. So lift the knee for the right foot and kick the right foot up and back. So kind of got like a 90-degree bend in the right leg. The foot is pointing towards the sky. And we're gonna externally rotate the hip and we're gonna draw it into the side body. And then we're gonna lower the knee back down to the ground. And then we're gonna lift the knee up, internally rotate it so that the foot points back to the sky. Bring the foot back to center behind you, and then bring the knee back down. We'll do that to the left side. Kick the left foot to the sky, find a nice 90-degree bend in the left leg. We're gonna externally rotate the leg, bring the leg out to the left side of the body, and then lower it down to the ground. Just working into the hips a little bit. Then we're gonna lift the left leg up to the left side, internally rotate, spin it so that the heel points to the ceiling, and then bring the knee back down. We'll do it one more time each side at your own time. Lift the right foot to the sky, open it up, draw the knee into the side body, lower the knee down, then slowly lift it up, open up again, bring it over to the center, and then lower it down. Left side, left foot to the sky, open up, knee to the side body, lower it down, lift the knee wide, bring the foot to the sky, bring it back to center, and lower it back down. Amazing job. From here, find a nice neutral spine again, tabletop position. We're not done here yet. Extend the right arm out in front of you. Plant down through the left hand, nice and straight. Keep it nice and straight. Extend the left leg out behind you. And just hold here for 5. 4, you can point your flex the toes, whatever feels good to you. 3, 2, engage the core. 1, bring the right hand back down, left knee back down to the mat. Extend the left arm out. Plant down through the right hand, get right nice and strong, plant down through the left knee, then kick the right leg out behind you. And hold here. Engage the core for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. Amazing job. From here, we're gonna press down through the hands, lift the hips up and back, finding our downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, find a little bit of time to pedal it out. Maybe shift side to side. Maybe stretch out through the side body, pointing the feet to one side and then pointing the feet to the other, walking the fingertip out to the top of the mat. So it feels good here. And then once you're ready to find some stillness in your downward facing dog, you're gonna continuously lift the hips up and back, lifting the tailbone to the sky. Press down through the hands and really grip with the fingers. It's really important. Grip with the fingers as much as you can. Plant down through the first knuckle and then plant down through the thumb. Amazing. Lifting through the shoulders, finding a nice long line of energy through the back body. You can keep the knees bent and lift the heels off of the ground. Don't feel pressure to have the heels all the way down and the legs straight. There's a lot of strain on the hamstrings and we're just getting ready to get into our practice here. So if you can't accommodate that now, then don't. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Draw the right knee into the chest and place the right foot down on the outside of the right hand. While we're in this nice lizard lunge here, shift forward and back in space here, opening up through the hips. Maybe you take a couple circles into the hips. That might feel nice. I can attest to that. It definitely feels nice. Then when you're ready, drop the left knee down, plant down through the left hand, lift the right arm up to the sky, open up. Keep spinning the chest open. Finding length through the spine, reaching the crown forward. Right hand comes back down to the mat. Lift the left knee up and straighten through both legs. And straightening is an activity. It's not a visual thing. So by straightening, if your leg can't straighten all the way, then don't. Maybe find a micro bend into the front knee. You can lift the right toes off of the mat and try to scrub that right heel back, planting that right hip back into its socket. Take a second here. Take an inhale to lengthen, and then an exhale to fold deeper over that right leg. Amazing. Both hands come back to center. Bring the left foot onto the outside of the left hand. Bend through both knees generously. Lift the torso and extend the arms out in front of you. Find your active squat. Get strong in the legs here. On your exhale, straighten the legs. Hands come to our center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Squeeze through the glutes. Keep lifting. Maybe find a slight back bend here. Exhale, sit all the way back down. Hands come through heart center. Inhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your right leg back. Step your left leg back. Find yourself in a plank position. Amazing. So we're going to move through the awakening vinyasa here. And the push-up is completely optional, but if you want, you can take it. So on your exhale, move through your push-up. Go all the way down and then come all the way back up. Drop the knees and then drop the forearms, shifting the hips back in space to almost like a half child's pose. Look forward and then pull the chest through the shoulders. Lift the thighs. Engage the core. Find yourself in your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Amazing job. We're going to do that one more time. On the inhale, lift heels, bend knees. We're going to articulate the spine and roll forward into our high plank pose. Amazing. I love plank pose. Find your arms and shoulders stacking over top of the wrists. Really engage the core here. On your exhale, move through a push-up. Either modify it or don't even take it. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, look forward, and then pull the chest through the shoulders. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Amazing. So we're gonna start doing the ladder flow now. Just be patient with yourself. Find yourself in downward facing dog. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale it out through the mouth. Follow along as best as you can. And just move with as much grace as possible in your practice at this current time. On your inhale, lift heels, bend knees. We're going to step, hop, or float the feet to the outside of the hands at the top of the mat. On the inhale, we're going to bend through the knees, lift the torso and extend the arms out, active squat. Find energy through the legs, drawing it from the ground. Sit a little deeper. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, sit back into your active squat. Inhale, hands come down to the mat. Either step back into your half push-up or shoot back into your chaturanga, which is a half push-up. Press yourself up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, pull the body through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Draw the right knee into the chest and place the right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left knee, lift the torso up, get strong in the legs. Arms to the sky, take an inhale here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Start to lean forward over the right leg. Float the left leg off the ground, crouching warrior. Keep a nice bend into the right knee. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bend back through the right knee. Tap. The left toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Open up through the chest. Keep lifting. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the right foot down. Move through your push-up. Come all the way down and up on your exhale. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, look forward. Pull the chest through the shoulders. Find your upward facing dog. Open up through the chest, broaden through the shoulders. And then lift the hips up and back on your exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Draw the left knee into the chest and place the left foot down on the inside of the left hand. Bend through the right knee and then lift the torso, lift the arms up to the sky. Get long here. Take an inhale. And then exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center, start to lean forward. Float the right leg off the ground. Crouching warrior, find your balance here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Find an up dog in the chest, lift. Inhale, bend back through the left knee. Place the right toes down onto the mat. Arms up to the sky, get long. Exhale, hands to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back to a place you can't see. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Move through your push-up on your exhale. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Look forward and pull the body through the shoulders. Find your upward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Engage the core. Then prepare to lift your hips up and back on the exhale. Downward facing dog. Amazing. On the inhale here, roll forward into your high plank pose. Move through your push-up. Go down and up. If you want to modify, you can do it on your knees. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes. Pull the chest through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. Again, lift heels, bend knees. Roll forward into your high plank pose. Move through the push-up. Or don't. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, pull the body through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing, we're on round 2 now. On the inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step, hop, or float the feet to the outside of the hands. Finding your active squat. So bend through the knees, lift the torso, extend the arms out in front of you. Generate that energy. Keep pressing the knees out to the side. Hold here, take a breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center, straighten the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, sit all the way back down, active squat. Inhale, hands come down to the mat. Either step back into your chaturanga or hop back there. Do whatever feels good to you. Press yourself up, find yourself in plank pose. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, look forward. Look where you want to go. Pull the chest through the shoulders. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog on the exhale. Amazing. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step, hop, or float the feet to the outside of the hands. Bend through the knees. Inhale, rise, active squat. Extend the arms out in front of you. Take a breath in. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up, squeeze the glutes, engage the core, find maybe a slight back bend here. Exhale, sit all the way back down. Inhale, hands come down to the mat, look forward, and either step back or hop back into your chaturanga. Half push-up. Press yourself up, find yourself plank pose. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes, look forward. Pull the chest through. Upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. If you need to at any moment, come down into a child's pose. There's no shame in that. Move with your body, move with your breath. We'll take an inhale as a community here through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Draw the right knee into the chest and place the right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left knee. Lift the torso up, lift the arms up to the sky. Get long here. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward, lean onto that right leg. Have that nice right knee bent, lift and float that left leg up. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bend back through the right knee. Place the left toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back. Open up. Take it all in. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the right foot. Move through a push-up. Down and up on your exhale. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Look forward, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Right away, left side. Left leg up to the sky on the inhale. Left knee into the chest. Left foot onto the inside of the left hand. Bend through the right knee. Arms up to the sky, get long. Take an inhale here. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward over the left and float the right leg off the ground. Get longer here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Lift the chest up a little bit, square off the hips. Then on your inhale, start to lower the right toes down to the mat. Arms up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back and open. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot. Move through your push-up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Look forward and pull the body through. Find your upward facing dog. You can also find low cobra. Keep the thighs down onto the ground. Up to you. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And if you want to, you can skip the vinyasas if it's getting too tiresome for you. But we're here to challenge ourselves a little bit, and we're moving through foundational poses. So do your best. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right knee comes into the chest. Place the right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left knee, lift the arms up to the sky. Double bent leg lunge on the inhale. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, hands through heart center. Start to lean forward onto the right leg. Lift and float the left leg off the ground. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bend back through the right leg. Place the left toes down onto the mat. Arms up to the sky, get long. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Elbows to the sky. Open the chest up higher. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the right foot. Exhale, move through your push-up. Come back up. Drop the knees, drop the forearm, shift the hips back in space. Take the vinyasa here. Pull the chest through. Find your low cobra or upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Are we sweating? I am a little bit. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Left knee into the chest. Left foot down on the inside of the left hand. Inhale, rise, double bent leg lunge. The right knee is bent. The arms are up to the sky. Suck in the belly. Square off the hips as best as you can. Then straighten through the right leg on the exhale. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward, crouching warrior. Lift and float that right leg. Be as buoyant as you can here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, bend back through the left knee. Place the right toes down onto the mat. Arms up to the sky. Amazing job. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back to a place you can't see. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Get strong in your plank. Exhale, take the push-up if you can. Lower the knees, lower the forearms, shift the hips back in space, move through your vinyasa. Pull the chest through, upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing job. Maybe a subtle rest here. When we come into the next pose, inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right foot comes to the inside of the right hand. Roll the left heel down. Lift the torso up, windmill the arms out. Finding your warrior two. Now, find a position where your legs feel sturdy. Widen your stance if you need to. Ground down through the outer edge of the back foot. Plant down through your right foot. If you're not in a 90-degree bend in your front knee, it's okay. More or less, it's not going to make a difference. Just find a comfortable position for you. One that fits your body. Extend the arms out to the top and bottom of the mat. Find your gaze over your right arm. Keep actively pressing the right knee out. Take a breath here. Exhale it out. Engage your core. Sit deep here. Take an inhale to expand and another exhale to sit deeper. Amazing. Bring the hands to heart center. Straighten through the right leg and then open up the left hip. Turn your foot towards the back of the mat. And then we're going to slowly lower into our Standasana on the left side. Amazing. Right leg is straight. Left knee is bent. Maybe you're up here. That's okay. Put your hands down. Keep the spine nice and long. Maybe you're nice and deep. Maybe your heels lifted. That's fine. Find the space here. Amazing job. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Press yourself up. Back into warrior two. Find the foot positioning. Outer edge of the back foot is grounded. Amazing. On your next exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat. Spin onto the outer edge of the left foot. We're gonna find our Vashisthasana side plank here. We're either gonna bring the right foot on top of the left and stack them, or you're gonna bring your left knee down beneath you here onto the mat. The action is the same. It doesn't change either way. You're lifting your hips up to the sky. You're rolling the shoulder onto the back body. You're opening up through both arms, opening up through the chest. Maybe you find your gaze at the top hand and hold. Keep lifting through the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Roll onto both feet here. Find your plank pose. Move through your push-up. Come down and get all the way back up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Look forward and then pull the body through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. We're going to do the left side now. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Draw the left knee into the chest. Place the left foot down on the inside of the left hand. Roll the right heel down. Lift the torso, windmill the arms up and open up. Again, find your footing here. Open up your stance if you need to. It's not necessary to have the 90-degree bend in the front knee. You can do that. And if you can do it, do it. But if you can't, find the level of activation that you have in your joints, in your muscle. Find the capacity of flexibility that you have. Keep opening up through the arms as if two people were pulling you from the front and from the back. Keep opening up that left knee. Don't let it knock in. You lose stability, you lose activation. Keep opening it up to the outside. Look forward. Find your gaze. Take an inhale to expand. And then an exhale to sit deeper. Amazing. Take another inhale. Exhale it out. Hands come to heart center, straighten through the left leg. Point the right toes to the back of the mat almost, maybe on a 45 degree, and then start to lower into that right knee. Finding your Standasana. I'll also known as your Cossack squat. Once you're in your Skandasana, you may be in a variation of different poses here, depending on your body and your flexibility and range of motion. Maybe your hands are down onto the ground, you have a nice long spine, and your hips are a little bit higher. Maybe you're all the way down. We talked about that on the last side. Find where you want to go and just be there. Amazing. Bring the hands down to the mat and then lift yourself back up into your warrior two. Back heel. Comes back to normal. Ground down through the outer edge of the back foot. Extend the arms out. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. And again, stacking the left foot on top this time. Or right knee comes down to the mat, lift the arm up to the sky, open up. Lifting through the hips. As if you were a marionette and you had a string here and someone was pulling you. Pull those hips up, lift up. Proper alignment here. And I mean, I don't really like to use that word alignment because everyone has different alignment for their body, but you really want to stack the shoulder over top of the wrist as best as you possibly can. As best as you can, whatever you can do. Take a breath in, keep lifting. Left hand comes down to the mat, roll onto toes, find yourself in plank pose. Take a push-up on your exhale, drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, pull the body through, look forward. Take it in here, find your low cobra or your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing, that was round 2, guys. Round 3. I'm not sure if you matched the pattern here, but round 2 had 2 rounds in each of those. And round 3 will have 3 rounds. Except for the last one, the warrior one. We'll just change it up a little bit. Take a breath in. If you need a drink of water, get it now. If you're in your child's pose, take deep breaths. In through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another inhale. Exhale it out through the mouth. Amazing. We're not going to make it any more complicated than it is here. I promise. If you're in your child's pose and you want to join back, find your way back to downward facing dog. One last deep inhale. Exhale it out. We start with the vinyasa. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, and then roll your body forward. Articulate the spine all the way forward. Find your plank pose. Move through your push-up on your exhale. Then drop the knees, drop the forearms, shifting the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, look forward. Pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Open up through the chest, roll the shoulders onto the back body. Lift through the thighs, engage the core. All of those subtle activations there. Then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, roll forward. High plank pose. Move through your push-up on your exhale. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Pull the body through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Last one here. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees. Roll forward, articulating the spine. Plank pose. Move through your push-up on your exhale. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, look forward. Pull the chest through. Find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Amazing. Take an inhale here. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step hopper, float the feet to the outside of the hands. Finding yourself in your active squat, bend through the knees, lift the torso, extend the arms out in front of you. Take an inhale here. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Squeeze the glutes, engage the core. Exhale, sit all the way back down, active squat. Hands come down to the mat. Either step back into your chaturanga or half push-up or shoot back. Find your way there. Press yourself up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space, untuck the toes. Pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open up to the shoulders. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step hopper, float the feet to the outside of the hands. Maybe you get a little floaty here. Lift the torso up, bend through the knees, extend the arms out. Exhale, straighten through the legs, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, sit all the way down. Inhale, hands come down to the mat. Look forward, either step back or hop back into your chaturanga. Amazing, press yourself up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last one here. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, step hopper, float the feet to the outside of the hands. Inhale, rise, active squat. Knees bent, arms out in front of you. Sit deep here. Really channel that energy. Strength through the quads, strength through the hamstrings, dragging the shins back, opening up through the legs. Hold it here for another second. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands come to heart center. Oh, what a relief. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, sit all the way back down, active squat. Don't worry, I'm not gonna make you hold it. Hands come down to the mat on the next inhale. Step back or hop back into your chaturanga. Press yourself back up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift through the chest, open up. Roll the shoulders onto the back body. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. 3 rounds, Syria B. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right knee comes into the chest. Place the right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left knee, lift the torso, lift the arms up to the sky. Get long through the side body. Draw the navel into the spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward. Find your crouching warrior. Lift the left leg off the ground. Keep bending into that right knee. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Find an up dog into the chest. Lift that left leg up. Try to square off as best as you can. Inhale, bend back through the right knee. Place the left toes down onto the mat. Arms up to the sky. Get long again. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Lift the right leg up and back. 3-legged dog. Inhale, shift forward into your high plank pose. Lower the right foot down to the mat. Move through your push-up. If you've had enough push-ups, then don't do it anymore. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Move through your vinyasa dog. Roll the body through upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Left foot comes to the inside of the left hand. Amazing. Bend through the right knee. Lift the torso, lift the arms up to the sky. Get long. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward. Crouching warrior. Hold it here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Try to square off your hips as best as you can. If you need to put your hands on the floor, then do that. Start to bend through the left knee. On your inhale, place the right toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer behind the head. Lift the elbows to the sky, lift the chest. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, shift forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Move through your push-up. I hope I'm not the only one moving through push-ups still. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right knee into the chest, right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left leg. Amazing, arms up to the sky, get long, suck in the belly. Take an inhale here. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center, start to lean forward, crouching warrior. Keep a nice bend into the right knee. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bend back through the right knee. Place the left toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose, lower the right foot down. Move through your push-up. If you're still doing them, drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Left knee into the chest, place the left foot down on the inside of the left hand, bend through the right knee. Lift the arms up to the sky. Take an inhale here. Keep lifting the arms. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean forward, find your crouching warrior. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Find your balance. I almost lost mine. Inhale, bend back through the left knee. Place the right toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Move through your push-up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. I'll always remember during my YTT, my teacher, we were doing a class, and every single movement, he made us do it for 5 seconds, which I'm not gonna make us do today, but the element of time in one pose can either make or break you. And just be sure that I was pretty broken after he did that to us. But it was fun. And it helped develop a lot of strength, balance, proprioception. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right foot comes to the inside of the right hand. Bend through the left knee. Lift the torso up. Double bent leg lunge. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center, lean forward, crouching warrior. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, bend back through the right knee, place the left toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back, open. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank pose, lower the right toes down to the mat. Move through your push-up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Left knee to the chest, left foot down on the inside of the left hand. Bend through the right knee, double bent leg lunge as you rise. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, hands come through heart center, lean forward, crouching warrior. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Amazing. Inhale, bend back through the left knee, place the right toes down onto the mat, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer behind the head. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Move through your push-up. Drop the knees, drop the forearm, shift the hips back in space on top of the toes, look forward, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing. Take a breath here. We move through that last sequence there, that last round with a little bit of fire, a little bit of speed. Take a breath here if you need it. In through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. There we go. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Right knee into the chest. Place the right foot down on the inside of the right hand. Roll the left heel down. Lift the torso, lift the arms, windmill them. Forward and back. Find your warrior two. You can inhale to get longer and expand, and then an exhale to sit deeper. Ground down through the outer edge of the back foot. Amazing job. Take a breath in. Exhale. Left hand comes down to the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. I told you, we're going to move it through this part a little bit differently. Find your Vashisthasana side plank. Either take the modified version by putting your left foot down onto the ground, left knee, or stay here for just 3, 2, 1. Draw that right knee into the chest. Place the right foot down at the top of the mat with very much grace. Roll that left heel down. Reach the right hand forward, come onto the fingertips, windmill the left arm up and over. Open up the chest and the body to the left side of the mat. Keep spinning the chest open. Get sturdy in the legs, almost as sturdy as you can in order to release the fingertips off of the mat. Maybe you place the right elbow onto the right thigh. Keep lifting, keep getting longer. Extended side angle here, Parsva Konasana. reaching from the tips of the fingertips, the tips of the left fingertips to the outer edge of the left foot. Amazing. Lift all the way up and back. Reverse your warrior, straighten through the right leg. Amazing. Come back to neutral. Shimmy that left foot in a little bit. Extend the arms out to a T. Start to hinge and bypass that hip. Bypass that right hip. Come all the way down. And then extend the left arm up to the sky. Find your comfort with either your palm down onto the ground or onto your ankle. And maybe it's floating, pressing against the ankle. Keep plugging that right hip back. Keep getting longer through the spine, reaching the crown forward, getting past the hip. Amazing. Left hand, right hand comes down to the mat. Lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. We're gonna play a fun little game here. We're gonna roll forward into our high plank, drawing that right knee into the right tricep. You can either hold here, bend the arms into your chaturanga and hold here, or you can kick your right leg out. You can float the left leg off the ground and hold here. Yeah, it's a beginner's class, but if you want to take the option of Kundinyasana, you can. And just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. On one left toes, come back down to the mat. Lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward into your high plank pose. Lower the right toes down. Move through your push-up. Come back up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Untuck the toes, pull the body through, find your upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last side here, guys. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Left foot comes to the inside of the left hand. Roll the right heel down. Rise, warrior 2. Amazing. Ground down through the outer edge of the right foot. Back down through the left foot. Get long. Sit deeper and breathe for just a second here. Take an inhale and then exhale. Right hand comes down to the ground. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Either stack the left foot on top of it, then the arm up to the sky, or place the right knee down onto the ground. Whatever feels better to you. Keep lifting through the hips and hold for just 3, 2. On 1, draw the left knee into the chest. Place the left foot down at the top of the mat with a little bit of grace. Roll onto the right heel. Walk the left fingertips forward and then windmill and spin. That right arm up and over. Finding your Parsvakonasana, finding that extension all the way from the right fingertips down to the outer edge of the right foot. I think I said it properly this time. Get lighter on the left fingertips. Maybe start to lift the side body up. Maybe you put your left elbow onto your left thigh. Keep finding depth into the position here with your legs. Keep finding strength through the legs. Lift all the way up and back, straighten through the left leg. Reverse your warrior. Left arm up and over. Amazing. Open the chest to the sky. Come back to neutral. Shimmy the right foot in a little bit. Extend the arms out again. And then start to hinge over that left hip. Bypass it a little bit. And then find length through the spine. Keep reaching the crown forward. Keep lifting and opening through the chest. And just hold here for 3, 2, 1. Both hands come down to the mat. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. You have a couple options here. First one is left knee comes into the left tricep, hold here. Or you can bend the arms into chaturanga, hold here. Or you can kick the left foot out, shift forward a little bit and lift the right leg off the ground, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right toes come back down to the mat. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Amazing. If you guys tried that wherever you are, you did amazing. Shift forward into your high plank pose. Lower the left foot down. Move through your push-up. Drop the knees, drop the forearms, shift the hips back in space. Take your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Right foot comes to the outside of the right hand. We're back where we started in our lizard lunge. Amazing. Shifting in and out of space here. Keep lifting through that left knee. Look forward, get long through the spine. You may walk your fingertips over to the left side. Take a nice stretch here. And come back. Plant the hands down. And then try to lift the right knee and then place the right knee down beside the right wrist and then kick the right foot over to the left wrist. Find yourself in a pigeon pose. And then find some softness here and lower down. You can take whatever variation of pigeon feels good to you. The idea of having your right shin parallel to the top of the mat is great. I mean, if you can achieve that, but I mean, if you can't achieve that, then don't be afraid. Point through the right toes and try to roll onto the right shin a little bit more. And then find your depth here. If you can parallel the shin, that's amazing. Try to ground down through the hips and square off as well. Let's take a couple breaths here. We did a lot of lifts and lowers with the legs and squats. We also did a lot of push-ups, if you did them. A lot of strength building here, but a lot of foundational stuff as well. And like moving through sun salutations like we did today is really good practice because it gives us a lot of different things. Number one, it tells us our range of motion when we're driving our knee into our chest. Can you bring your foot beside your hand? Can you create space for that? Can you find yourself in an active squat for a while? Where can you find a little bit more opening through the chest when you're lifting your arms up to the sky? Hands come down underneath the shoulders. Step the right foot back and then lower the chest all the way down to the ground. Extend the right arm out. Keep the left hand underneath the shoulder and then roll on to the right hip. And then you can lift your left knee up to the sky. You can play with different variations here if you want to try to bring your left foot up to your right hand. If you've got that range, go ahead and do that. But just find the opening here through the chest and through the shoulder. You can rest the head down onto the ground. Take a couple breaths. Amazing. Go back to center. Plant the hands down underneath the shoulders. Lift yourself up through tabletop position and then lift the hips up and back down to facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Bring the left foot down on the outside of the left hand. Shift forward and back in space here. Lizard lunge. Keep lifting through the right knee. Fantastic job today, guys. Really amazing. Walk the fingertips out to the right side of the mat if you choose to. And then come back. Plant the hands down underneath the shoulders. And if you can, shimmy your foot across. You'll shimmy your left foot over to the right wrist and you'll place the left knee down beside the left wrist. You figure yourself out by shimmying your right leg back the way you need to. And again, if your shin is not parallel to the top of the mat, you can point through the toes and roll onto the shin a little bit. Finding a little bit ease here. Still trying to find an opening and grounding through that hip. Now you can see like my hip has quite the distance here. And if yours is like that, I really should have a block underneath here to support it. But they're a little far away to reach. But yeah, just be gentle with yourself because that takes some time to find that space to ground down. And holding these positions for a long time really helps with developing that elasticity for getting into the hips that way. We also work on different, if you do the set, we also work through different things like Ardha Hanuman and Hanumanasana, which are half splits and full splits, the Chandrasana lunge, which is really opening through the front hip flexor. Usually after I do that class, I'm a lot more open than I normally would be. So yeah, definitely experiment with different poses. Really see where your body lands and how it reacts to the different things you do. Today we had a little bit of moving through things a little bit slowly and then picking up the pace a little bit, and how your body reacts to that. Is it easier to balance when you're moving slowly? Is it easier to balance when you're moving fast? Understanding our body in space and time. Yoga helps us do that a lot. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Step the left leg back. Lower the body down. Extend the left arm out. Keep the right hand underneath the shoulder and then roll onto the left hip. You can bring the right knee up to the sky if you have that range. You can also do that thing where you bring your leg back. That's not my game. Maybe it's yours. You try that. Lower the head down to the mat. Just find a nice ease and rest here. Go back to center. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Lift yourself back into a child's pose. Find that compression. Find your way into a child's pose, either an embryo pose, keeping the legs together and the arms back, or find a wide-legged child's pose. Extend the arms out and just be here. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. Another breath in. Exhale it out. If you want to move into your Shavasana, you're more than welcome to do that. You may also remain in your child's pose here. It might feel comforting. Find that compression. Being close to yourself sometimes feels better than being spread apart. Breathe. Acknowledge the work you did today. Let's take one last breath as a community here, in through the nose. Exhale it out to the mouth. Find your way to a nice comfortable seat, wherever you are. Bring your hands to heart center. Palms touching. Soften the gaze, close the eyes. I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share my practice with you. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and the weekend is coming so soon. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining. Amazing to have you and your energy here today. If you have any questions, please unmute. Come over, let's chat.
Thanks, Joey.